This episode of The Reasons I'm Broke is brought to you by Audible.
Sign up today and get a free 30-day trial along with your choice of an audiobook. That's audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia.
Over 150,000 titles to choose from, all available on your Kindle, Android, and iPhone.
Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to The Reasons I'm Broke podcast, bringing you the reasons we're broke, ranging from comics, movies, TV, video games, and more. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
And for any new brokettes joining us, welcome to the show. We do cover every week news ranging from comics, movies, TV, video games, and more. And usually the format will then follow into the comic book reviews of the week.
Our first bit of news is a video game related. Super Smash Bros. Got its latest character this week.
Previously announced, Earthbound Lucas, you call him Bart Simpson,
yes,
is available for the Wii U and the 3DS at $3.99 each or $4.99 for both systems.
He's got special donut powers that he steals from his dad. He throws donuts at people, rides around on a skateboard.
He's got a slingshot. Don't forget the slingshot.
Absolutely. So get your Bart Simpson today.
The Bart Simpson DLC, Lucas. They are actually going to have a special segment at E3 for Super Smash Bros. In which they are going to reveal brand new characters and content for the game. So it's really exciting because we are going to get, I think, more than 2 characters out of the big polls that they're doing now as far as what fans are asking for. And then probably some stuff that they've been working on as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some of the Brawl characters make their return and make their debut on the Wii U.
And Corey in the House has to be on there too.
Corey in the House, Goku.
Yes. You wasted your vote. It should have been Batman.
But then I used yours for Batman.
Very good. I would like the cow from Harvest Moon, please.
There you go.
And Todd from Pokemon Snap. Done.
He would actually play like the Bowser Jr. in the game.
Yeah.
Like his little cart would be the Pokemon Snap card, and he could hit people with it. Yep. His final smash would actually zoom in on a character, and he'd take the photo, and that's what would be the hit that would knock him off the screen.
Yes!
Kind of like Samus's, yeah, with the big ship, the gunship. That's what it would be like. So, yeah, Todd is actually kind of doable.
Perfect.
Super Smash
I love
Brothers.
it. Make this happen, yo. Everybody, vote for Todd. Hashtag vote for Todd.
We've also got a ton of television news, all comic book related.
That first bit of news is John Berthnell from Wolf on Wall Street has been cast as Frank Castle, the Punisher, in the 2nd season of Daredevil.
Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street, I think he was just a minor supporting character. Seeing his picture as well, I think he's also from The Walking Dead, is what people were saying. That's something we actually don't watch, The Walking Dead.
We just lost listeners. Thanks, Dan.
They know. Most of them know we don't watch The Walking Dead or Game of Thrones. We don't have access to those, really, to cable.
I hear our listeners just leaving. Goodbye!
But Season 2 of Daredevil will debut with The Punisher in 2016. So I don't quite know yet if The Punisher is actually going to have his own television show that's going to spin off of Daredevil.
Probably.
I wouldn't be surprised. That would be great.
Everybody has their own TV show now.
Might as well. That's where the money's at.
We need a new TV show just called Harv. And it'll just follow Harvey Bullock.
A spin-off from Gotham?
Yes.
Yep. Well, then we wouldn't even watch Gotham at that point.
No, we just watch Harv. It'd just be him, like, picking up hoes and, like, doing illegal stuff. And I'd be like, oh, Harv.
The Punisher, this would make it his first television debut for a live-action series. And he's had, I think, 3 other movie... Hold on, I think that's 4. We've got the 2 from the... We got the John Travolta one in the sequel. And then we have the one with oh shit, the Russian from Rocky 4. He was also in The Expendables as well.
Okay.
Dungren, I think his last name was, but anyway, he was the Punisher at 1.2. So that's 3. I don't think there's a 4th debut. I think that's it. Unless you count that short film that debuted, I think, on YouTube, and it was kind of like, hey, Thomas Jane wants to make another Punisher movie, and here's this short, like, little action film, little action scene that bases the Punisher in, like, a rated R setting. It's really good. I think it's called Dirty Laundry. Brokeheads, if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. It's been out for a couple of years, but it's definitely worth the watch. In the meantime, we'll have a brand new Punisher showing up in Daredevil. I think that fits for the character. It is a darker show. It is a darker character. And the Punisher, who is ruthless and murders and kills, Daredevil looks like isn't going in that direction. So there's going to be that first conflict when the two characters meet.
That's awesome. And hopefully Fisk will escape and be reunited with his woman.
He might.
That's all I need.
He'll definitely... We already know Bullseye's going to be in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of really exciting stuff happening with Daredevil.
Some very unexciting news, though. Sad day in Kelli's world. Constantine producer Daniel Creone has given everyone the news on the future of the show.
Yes, we do have a quote here from Daniel. He said, "I promised I'd share news when I had it. Sadly, that news is not good. The cast and writers of Constantine are being released from their contracts. The studio tried to find a new home for the show, for which we're forever grateful, but those efforts didn't pan out. I'm sorry I wasn't provided any information on the attempts to sell the show elsewhere. All I can report is that the show is over."
This just in, all the networks are dummies.
They're all dumb.
They're all dummies. They picked up the book that said How to Be a Dummy for Dummies. And they read that book and they followed it by not picking up Constantine, because that was the first chapter. Don't pick up Constantine.
The rest of the book is just blank pages.
Yep. Yep, because that's how to be a dummy.
Can we trade season 2 of Daredevil for another, just the last 9 episodes of Constantine?
I would gladly make that trade in a heartbeat. Don't even ask me twice.
What a weird world. Like a year ago, I never thought you would be begging for a Constantine show.
Yeah, well, you know, life.
One of your least favorite characters in the DC universe.
Hashtag life. Hashtag beach life.
But now with Constantine gone, we've had no new Constantine for about, 4 or 5 months now since the last episode debuted. You were saying that you're kind of okay, like you've gone through that grieving process and you're ready to let it go.
Right. I mean, no, I'm never ready to let it go, but I'm okay. I understand that it's not coming back, and while I would have loved to have seen where they're taking it, who knows? Maybe the rest of their story could be told in a movie sometime. Maybe some network will get their head out of their ass and decide that, hey, we're going to give you money, put together an hour and a half, we'll split it into 3 segments, and there you go, short movie. Done. Finish it off.
If not, we do still have this very excellent season. These episodes are still up on Hulu. Check them out if you haven't yet.
I'll just write fan fiction. It's perfect.
You could write fan fiction.
That's my answer to everything.
Continue the villain, continue the show, continue the story.
Yes. It'll go like this. Oh, Z, was her name Z?
Yes.
Z, I love you so much. I love you too, Constantine. Oh, no, I'm an evil angel. I'm gonna go away now. The end.
What, isn't that the last episode, though?
No, the evil angel just revealed that he was the evil angel. Nobody admitted their love for each other. We're getting to the love.
We never saw any kind of Justice League Dark debut. They didn't bring in any of the other characters in yet. We didn't get there, and we could have.
We could have, but
Happy with what we got, though.
Yes.
There was another ending of sorts, but on a good note, iZombie had its season finale this week.
Mm-hmm. Great season finale. Didn't leave on as much of a cliffhanger as I thought it would.
Right.
But it ends with Liv having to make some very tough choices.
Right, yeah, we're keeping it spoiler-free for any brokettes out there that are following the iZombie show. Again, it has deviated from the very beginning. It's very different from the graphic novel. I've read the first trade, and yeah, it's nothing like the show, but they each stand on their own as different things, different stories, and different characters. And yeah, it's been a really solid show. We've been really liking it. I personally like it more than Gotham.
Agreed. I really, really connected with the characters more in this show than I feel I did with Gotham, especially like the last little arc of Gotham where you're just like, okay guys, come on, really, nobody cares. I didn't have one of those moments with this show. Like the whole time it was edge of your seat. Oh no, is he gonna get what's coming to him?
I think what's made this show so successful is the fact that Liv Moore is incredibly relatable. Like she's really charming, she's funny, she's very likable, and then the writing on top of that with the rest of the supporting characters, it's just overall a oddly light show for having so much death and violence in it.
Like you see so many dead bodies every episode, and I always feel good after you watch it.
And you had like 2 love stories in this season.
Yes,
like they overloaded you with love stories.
It was so great, and I don't want to give anything away, but I still have hope.
That's all you're gonna say. You still have hope for one of the love interest, one of the earlier love interests.
I do. It'll happen.
That's how you know the show did a good job, though, because you care about some characters and the relationships.
You don't care about any of them. You're like, stupid Deckard.
I didn't like either one of the guys. Like, I'm like, these guys are both lame.
No,
like,
man.
especially Deckard. Like, was whiny throughout the entire thing, and especially at the very end.
His name's not Deckard.
Coach, what's his name?
Major.
There you go.
Coach. You're just making up words now. I liked, what was his name? Lowell? I don't know, her rock star boyfriend. He was my favorite.
I didn't like him either.
He was real pretty to look at.
On to some comic book news. DC has revealed its variant theme for September.
To celebrate 75 years of Green Lantern, 25 covers will offer a Green Lantern cover price variant.
Yeah, we took a look at all of them. I think it's about the same as not the Bombshell one, because a lot of those were really good, but probably in the same theme as like the Flash one or the Batman one, where a lot of them are hit or miss. Like some of them they could have done more with. I think one of the weaker ones is the one with Black Canary, and it's just Black Canary screaming and Green Lantern like floating next to her. Like nothing is happening in that cover. Like nothing is happening. The Aquaman one is okay as well.
I'm in a suit.
There's even a Neil Adams cover in which Green Arrow is about to shoot Green Lantern in the face.
That's so cool. That one was really cool.
But I think some of my favorite ones are the Batman Superman one. If you want to see the full covers, the full list, you can head on over to IGN or Newsarama.com. But essentially it has the old school Batman from his debut and the old school Green Lantern, not Hal Jordan, from his debut. And they're both overlooking what I think is Gotham in their classic outfits. And I thought that was really fitting, and I think that's for Batman or Detective Comics. Gorgeous cover. And there are some winners there. I think we're going to get maybe a quarter of them. Like one of them, it's like Deathstroke versus Green Lantern. It's like, it's okay. The Starfire one's kind of lame. The one with Robin, I didn't really care for either. There is one where Batman is standing, he's holding the Green Lantern, and he's standing on a construct made by the Green Lantern of a gargoyle, and that's what he's standing on. I thought that one was great. And the Batman Superman one as well.
My favorite was the Catwoman one, where she opens like a chest or something and there's all the Green Lantern rings and it lights up her face and she's so excited.
Yeah, that's a really nice cover. That one's actually by Emanuela Lapuccino, who is doing Starfire, which we are reviewing later on today. So great theme. It's continuing with the 75 years, all these character debuts. And the best part is their cover price. So if you don't like the main cover, you could always go for one of the Green Lantern variants.
We also picked up a lot of DC promotional material this week that we just wanted to touch up on a little bit for you guys.
Yeah, if you go to your local comic book shop, a lot of these shops got promotional material, which is at a cost to them, but they give them out for free for customers, which is great. And on DC's end, they've actually really improved on, or rather provided comic shops with a lot of material that is promoting their brand new books, their brand new number ones, all of the jumping on points for DC Comics. The campaign of DCU, YOU, is continuing in how they actually give out stuff for the customers of the shops.
The first two things we want to talk about are the Harley Quinn and Batman Beyond masks.
They're similar to the Batman 75th Batman Day masks. So they've got the cutout eyes and they've got the string on the back. The Harley Quinn one is done by Amanda Conner, so you're actually getting the Harley Quinn from the current series. Yep.
That one was definitely my favorite. Was that the only one we picked up?
The only one we personally got. The Batman Beyond one looks okay, but the Harley Quinn one, it's something that I definitely want Jimmy and Amanda to sign. There were also Starfire postcards. I think that was actually my favorite of all of these things that they've been giving out, but the Starfire postcards are actual postcards that you can use to mail out or whatever, and I think it says greetings from the Key West, because the book does take place in Florida, and it's got the cover from Starfire #1, and then the other side you can put the address, and it's awesome. Like, we had a bunch of those. I'm like, yes, I'm going to put one of these with my comics. They look great.
Definitely don't actually send it out, though. Keep that for yourself. We also have a Dark Side and Anti-Monitor and a Batman mech suit design posters.
Yeah, two of them. They're not huge, but they're actually a really good size for being free. The Dark Side versus the Anti-Monitor one is like an old boxing poster.
Oh,
like,
that's awesome.
They even washed out the colors a little bit, put in some creases on the actual print. It's a really cool poster, and that's to promote the Justice League Darkseid War that is currently going on as DC's main event. And the Batman mech suit design, it's got, the line art for the new Batman suit.
The bunny ear suit.
Yeah, the bunny ear suit. So that one is actually, if you smell that poster, it smells really good. Like, it smells like paper, like really strong paper and really strong ink.
Why did you go around sniffing these things?
Because you could smell the poster from a little.
Sure. You saw it and you went, ah.
To be fair,
Batman.
Anything Batman, I put near my face, like, oh yes.
Gross.
Wait, you're not Bruce? So they really did a great job with these. Hopefully they continue that trend of sending out posters and postcards. The customers really like it, and collectors want to get that stuff with their book as they pick it up. Like, hey, I got the Dark Side War Part 1. Oh, great, I got this poster that goes with it. Like, it's just a great combination, and it just makes everyone happy.
Finally, before we get into our comic books, as some of you know, we have a new logo.
Yes, we do. A new logo for The Reasons I'm Broke. Some of you have noticed when you played the show on your iPod or Android device, whatever it is, updated the new artwork. And basically, I changed it because it makes The Reasons I'm Broke a lot clearer. Like, the title of the show is the main artwork for the main draw of the logo. And then, of course, you have the different symbols underneath the logo representing all the various topics that we do cover, some of our favorite topics on the show as well. So that's at the very bottom underneath the title. I've heard a lot of positive reaction from Brokettes. Like, not like one negative person, and then that was it. Like, everyone else was like, oh, this looks great, I love the colors, I like the design, this would look great on a shirt. I've had a couple of Brokettes already ask about whether or not it's going to be on a t-shirt at the Nerd Up Media shop, and at the moment it's not. I'm going to wait and see if there's more demand to see if it's worth, getting the prints done to actually make the t-shirts available at the shop. So that's up to you guys. If many of you let me know on Twitter, on Facebook, we really want to have one of the shirts and have that be available at the shop, then I'll get that rolling. But for now, we got the logo up on YouTube, on Liberated Syndication, on Stitcher, on iTunes, everywhere. It's just all updating. We also want to remind Brokettes that you still have about 2 more weeks until the 3-week review contest ends. So basically, you leave us a review on iTunes or on Stitcher, you screenshot it, and then you send it to us on Facebook or on Twitter. And every time you do a review for both Stitcher and iTunes, that counts as an entry towards some prizes, which last week we did say were going to be Nerd Up Media decals, which are still a part of the prizes, but we're going to be adding some more extra bonus stuff like comic books. So stay tuned for that, and we will announce the winners in 2 weeks.
So guys, make sure if you are going to leave us a review, or even if you've left us a review in the past, take a screenshot of it, send it to us. Your name will be entered in a hat, so to speak. And then at the end of, we have 2 more weeks now, we will decide a winner for our prizes.
It'll all be random, so I guess we're sort of deciding by choosing where we're going to pick the name from, but it'll be random, and it'll help your chances if you have 2 entries in there by reviewing on both iTunes and Stitcher. And
Brokettes, don't forget about our Audible Trial offer.
That's right, you get a free audiobook with your trial when you sign up at audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia.
You will get a free audiobook download of your choice along with a 30-day free trial. Again, that's audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia.
A lot of great books on there, stuff ranging from Mario Brothers, Pokemon, Nintendo, video games, and even into the comic book side, you will find some novels there. A lot of Batman ones, Psychology of Batman, a lot of great stuff. So just go ahead and sign up, get that free book, get that free trial, and helps us out.
And with that, we can move into our comic book pull list of the week. This was a huge week.
Massive. Massive. Like, we are feeling those DC number ones now.
Yep, we have a lot of indie books. I believe just 1 Marvel and several DC books as well.
Yeah, we actually have 2 Marvel books, but a bulk of our pulls were DC like usual. But the first book is Adventure Time, Marceline Gone Adrift, number 6 of 6, written by Meredith Gran and art by Carrie Peach.
This did not give me the definitive bubblegum Marceline in love, in a relationship that I wanted. It came so close. And then
they didn't have the balls to pull the fucking trigger.
They didn't. And I respect them because they've pretty much spelled out that yes, these 2 are together. But just make it happen, guys.
They pulled a Legend of Korra book 4, where Korra and Asami like hold hands and enter the portal or whatever, but they never kiss. Like, that's what they did here.
Yes. They did have their fingers laced, so that they might as well.
And they leaned in, but then they hugged.
But yeah.
Come on. This wasn't it. On a related note, earlier yesterday, DC had a chat with the Harley Quinn creators, or I should say the current writers, Jimmy and Amanda. And they did confirm that in canon, it's official that Harley Quinn and Ivy are a couple.
Yes!
Just like Harley Quinn and Joker are a couple.
That's awesome.
Which has been obvious if you've read anything Harley and Ivy since the animated series. Like, they've always been flirting from the very origin of the character creation. So it's nothing new. But this is the first time that through the DC channel of Twitter that they officially say, like, yeah, they're a couple.
I like how unhappy you made them sound. Yeah, they're a couple.
Because it took them this long. It's like, just, whatever. Everyone knows that Harley and Ivy are together, and whenever Joker's not around.
Okay, so get on Adventure Time and just tell them that everybody knows that Bubblegum and Marceline are a couple.
Yeah, come on, Kaboom. Although they're friends of the show, so you can take your time.
This is the conclusion to this arc, though. We had some stuff going on with Cinnamon Bun and Finn and Jake, and I really didn't care about any of that. For me, it was all Marceline and Bubblegum, and it was just shy of the mark, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, it is a point in the relationship in which they do grow together to a new understanding. And I felt like that overall with the 6 issues is what made it into a solid comic. And overall, I really enjoyed this miniseries. The Adventure Time miniseries gave us a chance to try out new creators, new artists, and tell a story, usually from characters that we don't see too often in the main book. That's actually where we got the main Fiona and Cake spin-off, even though it wasn't the cartoon show first. But they really developed the characters in that universe with the miniseries, and now we're about to have another miniseries with Fiona and Cake. So there's good things happening with the miniseries, and this was one of the good ones.
We need some more Ice King.
He needs his own miniseries, and it hasn't been solicited yet.
That shit makes me cry. Our next book is Anne Bonny #4. This is written and has art by Tim Yates.
Yes, Blue Juice Comics. Huge thanks to them. Friends of the Reasons I'm Broke podcast here. And it's you as a pirate. Once again, you returned after months.
I'm so happy.
You are back.
Back and ruling the seas and taking some names. And
with brand new friends, new characters.
Buying some shit. Sounds like my normal day. I got a day off, let's go buy some shit.
Let me just park my ship over here.
The Reasons I'm Broke. Yes. So happy that this comic book is back. It was great, as always. Anne Bonny's like picking up guys like she would, because come on, really. It's Anne Bonny.
Everyone likes her. Like, she's another likable character with this universe of other characters. This issue #4 is actually a great jumping on point. I feel like we're starting a brand new arc after the first 3 issues, and it didn't feel like you had to have read the first 3 to actually understand and get #4, especially after the couple of months that it had on break. I think it's great for new readers to, if they see Anne Bonny #4 on the shelves, like, that is something you can pick up, you can enjoy, and immediately start reading. However, if you do want to get 1 through 3, those are still available through Blue Juice Comics and even through some distributors. If you want to check with your local comic book shop, see what they can order through Diamond. They might even have some stuff in their back issue bins. And it is a series that we've been enjoying a lot. And #4 is a point in the story in which they grew even more with the characters, with the plot. Now we have another villain.
Yeah, he's so cool.
And we're starting to get into Anne Bonny's past and her legacy.
It's so cool. So much is going to happen. It's a fantastic series, guys, so I definitely recommend it, especially if you like pirates. That are me as a pirate. Doing pirate things. But then there's also that magic that they have in there as well, which I think is so much fun.
And don't forget, if you are a speculator out there, a true collector, you can own the first appearance of our podcast in comics.
Yes, I hear them rushing to the stores for that reason.
If you look closely in one of the panels, Tim, who's actually a listener of the show, thank you so much, you see the older Reasons I'm Broke logo on Anne Bonny's like pinboard. It's right there, and it's even written like The Reasons I'm Broke is written on there. I was like, oh shit, look at that. Like, I didn't know ahead of time. I was just like reading it, and then I saw that and I called Kelli over and you freaked out.
Yeah, I did. It was so much fun. And then I read it later and I still freaked out even though I knew it was there.
So there you go, speculators. Get that book, get it CGC graded.
Yes, that is the reason.
Keep it away from the sunlight.
That they're getting that in like your vault. Install a vault in your house to keep this book in there.
Another final book, and this one is actually The Big Con Job, number 4 of 4. It's written by Jimmy Palmiotti and Matt Brady, art by Domo Stanton, colors by Paul Little.
This is the conclusion of the series where we had these former stars who aren't loved anymore, so they decide they're gonna rob a convention.
Rob a convention and fly off overseas and retire. Like, that's what their plan is, because every year as they go to every convention, it's costing them more because they're not paying as much for, you know, their hotel and their food and all that. There's less fans visiting them at the booth, so they're like, we're pretty much done with this. Like, this is our only form of income, and it's a very true business. Like, that does happen with a lot of older television and movie stars, voice actors, what have you. So it was great to see these characters that are all awesome, they're all fun, try to pull off a heist that they're all terrible at. Like, they're all really nervous, and you see the conclusion of all of it, of this very fun series. So overall I thought it was very funny. It was very good. It was the ending I expected. Like, I saw everything happening. It's kind of a typical plot.
I mean, yes, I did see it happening. I wish that wasn't what happened, because I kind of expected a little bit more. Because it was the perfect oh no moment, the perfect ending. I really, really enjoyed the series. It was a lot of fun, you know, to think that this could happen. And I loved all of the characters that were created. You know, I fell in love in 4 issues. And that's great that, you know, they were able to make that happen. But I wish there was more to the ending. Not just, we loved you, so everything's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish life was like that. People be giving me free food all the time. We loved you, here's free food. Oh, thank you. Doesn't happen that way.
It does not.
Our next book is Descender number 4. This is written by Jeff Lemire with art by Dustin Nguyen.
One of 2 Image books, Descender. So if you remember, this is going to be a comic that is going to be a film. And we're getting into how the main character, Tim, is actually going to help out the organizations to fight off these invaders that have been coming through these planets. And we're learning a little bit more about one of the main, I guess, female character in the story, what seems to be. And I like her a lot. Like, I like that we're learning more and she's opening up more to the characters, but also to the readers. So that's kind of where I'm following this now. Like, Tim is great, and I like his companions, other robots, and I feel for them too. But I was kind of waiting to see what we knew about the other aliens and the other humans, and that's where we're starting to get.
I really enjoyed this issue as well. I love that Drillbot, is that his name? I love that he's still around. He makes me so happy, because he's like, Drillbot's a murderer, and he's like, no, you can't be killing people, but I'm a murderer. I'm like, yeah, Drillbot, you murder.
He's good at it too.
Yeah, he's so great. He's like, drill to the face. And I'm like, yeah, Drillbot.
Fuck you. Drill to the face, asshole.
But we did get to a big turning point. There's going to be more problems in this next issue. I think we're getting introduced to our main group of villains, hopefully, maybe.
If not, we're getting a slight hint. These seem to be more like henchmen leading into whatever we're going to get as far as the first arc goes.
Right.
But if you're into watercolor at all, Dustin Nguyen is
beautiful.
Yeah, it all looks amazing. Like, even you can tell from the cover itself, like, this is what the entire book is going to look like.
Oh yeah, Drillbot's on the cover.
And when you get like the space scenes, like, even with watercolor, that works as well. Lights and darks, all of it. It's beautiful. If you read Batman Low Gotham, this is the exact same artist. If you like Descender, we recommend going back and checking out Batman Low Gotham, because it is Batman, and the artwork with Dustin Nguyen is simply perfect. It's really nice. Next is your pick of the week, and that is Saga number 29. Brookettes called it from the new comic book day. They knew. This one's written by Brian K. Vaughan and art by Fiona Staples.
And good for this book for being my pick of the week for 29 issues. 29.
29 picks of the week.
That's amazing. That's over 2 years. That's 2 years and a month.
It's alright, so let them know. Why is this your pick of the week other than it's Saga?
Man, because it does what Saga does best. It builds on the previous issue and it's always better. Shit always goes down. At the end, you always, you close the last page and you go, no! Because that's always what happens. From the very first page, you're going, no! And then halfway through the book, you go, no! Because so much happens in this small amount of space, but you don't feel lost because they transition smoothly, and then you're going to remember what happens, like, 14 issues from now when they get back to it. It's perfect. This book is perfection.
Fiona and Brian keep pushing the envelope with some of these panels, and like, there's some nasty stuff that they throw in here, and somehow you're like, yo, this is cool.
Yeah,
like,
this is so awesome.
One of my coworkers showed me that's page spread, and I was like, what the fuck?
You know what? Just let the lizard do his thing.
Like, we're gonna have to polybag this book. Like,
just let him do his thing.
Oh, that is so weird.
It's not as bad as the issue with, like, Sextopia.
Wasn't there one where the comic opened with a child, like, coming out, like a child being born? Wasn't that one of the Saga issues?
I mean, probably. There was also that issue where she was, like, pregnant and they were fucking.
Yeah, there was that one too.
And then, like, the devil came out of her.
It's not as bad as, like, this one. Like, I'm like, oh man.
I know.
And even in the letters, like, at the very end when they're talking to the readers, they say that every time they're always challenged as, like, for censorship by a certain conservative group, and they're like, I don't know what they're gonna think after they read this issue, especially. Like, this is probably the worst so far.
I still don't think this issue is bad as, like, Sextopia, where I had, like, 2 whole pages of, like, butts and penises. And some guy in a Mickey hat, by the way. That was in there.
I don't remember that.
That was totally in there. We will go back and look at it. He was wearing a purple Mickey hat.
Yeah, it was great. Saga. Awesome. Not my pick of the week, but definitely yours.
It's definitely your pick of the week. Stop lying to our listeners.
I will do no such thing.
You won't lie to them? Good. So, we both picked Saga because... But can you say this issue was worse than the last issue? No, it's better than the last issue.
Yeah, it was better than the last one.
Okay, so why isn't your pick of the week? Has any issue been worse than the issue before it?
Yeah, there was like 2 months ago that one issue that was... Even you admitted, you're like, it wasn't as good. Like, even you almost did it.
No! Saga's always the best. Always. I'm gonna have to, on Saga weeks, I'm gonna have to start having a second pick of the week. You realize this, right? We can't keep doing this to all the other eligible books out there. Just because...
You can't do this to the other books.
Just because... My True Bay comic book comes out. I can't ignore the other books too.
You do have to have a second pick.
If I could marry a comic book, I would marry Saga. Done. So I can't ignore the other comic books. So I'm gonna have to have 2 picks this week.
All right.
So our next book is Scrooge, number 3.
Uncle Scrooge.
Oh, I'm sorry, Uncle Scrooge.
It's not a Christmas book or anything.
Uncle Scrooge, number 3. This is written by Romano Scarpa.
Romano Scarpa.
I can't read.
That's
okay,
an N.
Now I can say this. I know my letters. I did graduate high school, at least. Art is also by Romano Scarpa and Tony Strobel. And the colorist is Digicore Studios and Disney Italia.
That's Digicore with a K, not with a C, because it's a colorist.
Well, then it would just be called Digicore. Or just Core.
Then what would Disney Italia be?
Distalia.
So Uncle Scrooge, I almost feel like all these books the Uncle Scrooge books are going to be basically the same type of premise, the same type of trick. It's seeing how cheap Uncle Scrooge can be and how far he will go to remain that cheap.
And we eat it up every week. We love it.
Every month, yeah, I absolutely love it. And he goes pretty far this time, even against his own bank and then for his own bank. It's kind of insane how much effort he puts into earning so little money, but then spends almost none of it. Like, he uses any props he uses from businesses he owns already. Like, it's so crazy how awesomely cheap he is, and it's almost inspiring. I'm like, I need to save money as well, and I'll be rich too.
You know, he wouldn't buy any comic books. He would fish them out of the trash.
I don't think he would buy any comics at all, actually.
No, he wouldn't buy anything. Scrooge buys nothing. Like, maybe food. But he's worn the same coat for 10 years. We learned that last issue.
Yes, we did. And he just keeps getting it repaired, right?
Yep. But he didn't get it repaired for 10 years, remember?
And when he did, he tried to like get a better pricing out of them. It's so
Yep.
funny. I do want to talk about the cover, which is one of my favorites so far in the Uncle Scrooge line. It's Huey, Louie, and Dewey, and they're asking Uncle Scrooge for donations for their Cub Scouts. And one of them has like a little give jar that, you know, they're all like in their Cub Scout uniforms and just asking for a donation. And Scrooge, and underneath them is like a trap door. You can see the outline to it, and Scrooge is about to hit that red button. Who knows what's going to happen to them, but if you ask him for money, you might die. It does not matter if you're related or not to Uncle Scrooge.
It doesn't, because this whole issue, they're talking about how they're starving and Donald needs to make more money, and Scrooge is over here, like, all this money letting his grandnephews starve.
And he keeps insulting Donald on top of that. Like, you're an idiot, Donald. You don't know how to invest money. Like, instead of helping out his family.
Right. That's
all he cares about. That's why I like Scrooge so much. It's just such an asshole, and I love it.
Definitely a good issue. The great thing about these two is it doesn't really follow a whole story. So every issue is a jumping on point. It's a little one-shot. Mm-hmm. So if you decide you have some extra money and you want a good laugh, pick up Uncle Scrooge.
Next we have the first of our 3 Marvel books this week. That is Silver Surfer number 12, written by Dan Slott, art by Michael Allred, colors by Laura Allred. So this is like your ultimate week.
Finally, really. Yes.
You've got the You as a Pirate and Bonnie book release. You've got Saga.
Yes.
You've got Silver Surfer as well. You've got Descender, which has Dustin Nguyen. Yes. It's like all those books fell in the same week.
I can die now. This is it. Dan, you're doing the podcast by yourself next week.
Fulfilled with your comics?
My life has been fulfilled.
So Silver Surfer 12.
Yes.
Is that your second pick of the week?
I'm still thinking. Like, man, there are a bunch that were so good. Can I have, like, 10 picks the week?
No.
I mean, it was a big week. So 10 picks is really, like, a normal 1 pick.
No.
That's not... Anyway, I really like Silver Surfer. We finally get to what should have happened in issue 1.
Yes, we do. We expand that relationship between Dawn and the Silver Surfer.
Dawn got her head out of her ass.
You're not mad at her anymore?
Well, I mean, I'm still mad at her. Because we could have been at this place like 4 issues ago.
I think the place that got you, and probably my favorite page out of this whole book, is when he's recalling, like, serving Galactus, and he says all he would remember were screams and death, and that's all he... For planets upon planets upon planets.
I just want to give him a hug.
And he dreams about that stuff.
Just want to give him a hug.
I think that's why you were so upset at Dawn before that, because she was like, "Oh, you were a murderer, you monster," and like that's all she left it at. Like, not that he changed.
And I'm like, nah, bitch. Listen here.
And I guess he grew a bigger beard now.
Yeah, he's got a kick-ass beard.
I wish that would silver up as well. Like, you just see like this outline of a beard on the Silver Surfer.
No, that's weird.
It's not weird. It'd be awesome.
Dan,
a bearded Silver Surfer?
That's so weird.
That'd be cool.
No, that'd look like Silver Surfer's like so clean. That would look so... Ugh.
Scruffy and spiky.
Yeah, weird.
I wouldn't call this a jumping on point because it kind of plays off of the rest of the stuff that we've had so far with their relationship. And when we reach this point at the very end of the comic, it's kind of like, all right, now we've got this closure from this first part of their relationship, and it's awesome. So it's a great book. As far as the plot, it's kind of like a Star Trek episode. Like, there's a little mystery behind it, and they have to figure out why things are happening on the planet, and it does all of that in, you know, a single comic. Like, the entire story is in this issue. The issue's $3.99. You get a lot of story. Gorgeous artwork by Michael Allred. Excellent book.
Our next Marvel book is Spider-Gwen number 5. This is written by Jason Latour with art by Robbie Rodriguez, and the colorist is Rico Renzi. Or just Renzi. Oh, no, he would call himself Renzi. Renzi.
This is my pass of the week.
Really?
Spider-Gwen number 5.
This is your pass.
Did not like this issue.
It introduced Black Cat in this universe.
It did. And it continued with Matt Murdock, Daredevil, their version of the Daredevil. And that is an interesting change, and I like that. But the way that it was kind of... It still has that pacing issue with the comic that hasn't they haven't solved yet as they
that.
continue. Like, we're jumping back and forth with these other characters, and then we jump back in time into something else. It's trying a little bit too hard to be stylized in what it's doing. It needs to focus in a little bit more on the flow of the comic and the issue and the dialogue and all of that, and it's just not doing that too well. It doesn't help. The artwork is nice, but it's not clean enough to where you can be like, okay, they can do stuff like what they were trying to do, and that's
right.
time jumping and all of that. It's a little too much. And as far as the plot, I don't really care as much anymore. Honestly, I'm sort of done with this comic.
Really? I still enjoyed it. I'm still liking the characters. I'm still liking Gwynn learning about herself. Some of the things she was saying are some of the things that I would say. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if I'm a superhero and I jump out, I'd be like, yo, hell's going on here? So I like where they're taking her character. I'm not done with this comic. Hopefully they'll pick it up for you next week, because I feel like this could kind of be a one-shot by itself. It doesn't really tie into the rest of what we've had going on.
Our final Marvel book is Ultimate End number 2 of 5, written by Brian Michael Bendis, art by Mark Bagley, and colors by Justin Ponsor.
This one is actually my pass of the week.
I can see that.
Because I don't care. Oh no, this man's dead. And? Oh no, this shit's happening. And?
But Frog Thor's there.
And?
You don't like Frog Thor?
I mean, I like Frog Thor, but not enough for me to like this book.
That's fine. I like this issue more than number 1, because we do get a little bit more on the interaction between the two Tonys, which I think is going to be the center of this comic.
Probably.
I would like it to be more Miles Morales and Spider-Man and maybe Captain America and the Ultimates, but instead, you know, they're focusing on like in this case, the different Thors from the different universes.
There was a Groot Thor. I saw him.
Yep.
I kind of like
too.
Groot Thor. And the stuff with Spider-Man and Aunt May and Gwynn was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that as well.
But the rest of it I went, and?
Yeah, we got to remember that in the Ultimate Universe, there is no Peter Parker anymore. That's why we have Miles. And when the Peter Parker from the 616 universe meets the Ultimate Gwen Stacy and Aunt May, there's that odd interaction between the two, and that's sort of what I like about Brian Michael Bendis, because Spider-Man is that anchor in the Ultimate Universe. So whenever we get to visit that and explore a little bit, that's where, you know, I really grow and focus in on the comic. So yeah, I mean, I liked it more than number 1. It was okay, and I can see why it's your pass of the week, but you know, we're saying bye to the Ultimates. 3 issues left.
Now we can move into our DC books. Our first one is Batman number 41. This is written by Scott Snyder with art by Greg Capullo, and the colorist is FCO Placencia.
It's the issue with the brand new Batman, Jim Gordon. Everyone knows by now if you got the free comic book day issue, all of that. And this is the comic in which they're trying to establish, like, this is the new Batman, readers. This is where he's getting help from. This is how he's actually able to operate as Batman. If you wouldn't believe it, because it's, you know, it's Jim Gordon. What training does he have? Well, this is the training he does have, and this is what he's using as Batman. This is why he's doing it. Do you think he would have easily done it the whole time, or no? Like, the convincing it took for Jim, like, it's all in this one single issue. And any doubts that you may have had about the new Batman, which I don't see why you would, because this creative team has been great since issue number 1, since the New 52 debuted in 2011. This has been consistently one of the best, if not the best, DC comics that they've been putting out. And that's why it's my pick of the week.
Really? This is your pick of the week? I still have issues with Gordon as Batman.
What issues do you have?
Well, I feel like he complains about it too much.
Well, that's Jim Gordon, though, isn't he?
I mean...
It's in character.
I guess, but, you know, between this and Detective Comics, there was a lot of, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. Oh, I don't want to... Okay, I'll do this. And I'm like, come on, Jim. I did like, in the beginning of this issue, when he's jumping from the bat blimp, the whatever's in the sky, and he's having to psych himself up to be Batman. I did really, really enjoy that, and I appreciated how we got to see him solve this mystery because he knows the city so well, because he's been in the city so much, to use that knowledge, whereas a different Batman, we wouldn't have been able to get that, you know, if it was somebody else. But just his attitude towards the whole thing, I feel more like, you know, while Gordon may not feel worthy, if he was chosen, he'd be like, yeah, there needs to be a Batman. and it might as well be me.
Right, and especially when he sees who else could go up to being Batman, and he prefer, I guess, to be the sacrifice of being Batman and taking that blow. And that's very much like a Jim Gordon thing. It's very much in character for him to want to take up that for his city. And that's very much like Batman. That's a Batman thing. So it's very fitting, very cool. And I do want to talk about the the half-page ads that are in every single one of the DC comics this month. Huge point of controversy. And if you haven't seen it yet, Brokettes, next time you're at any of your local shops, go to the DC wall, any of the books that came out for June. So pick up Batman 41. Right about 3/4 of the way through, a half-page ad, not vertical, but a horizontal one of Twix. And it's got, I don't know who Nick Lachey?
Yeah, you got it. I'm so proud of you. Yes, Nick Lachey.
He is a Backstreet Boy, I'm sure.
No. No, what did Nick Lachey do? He married Jessica Simpson. That's all I know.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Is he really a Backstreet Boy?
I have no idea.
I don't feel
I was just being ignorant.
I'm pretty sure he's not a Backstreet Boy.
So that comes in, and it does break up the story. This is something that people on Twitter have been saying, like, I'm boycotting DC for this month because of the ads.
That's silly.
And some people, like Greg Capullo, are saying, I get why you're doing that, but now you're hurting the artists and the writers because we get money based on how many of these guys sell. And if, this issue doesn't sell, they're not going to order as much for, whatever the ordering process is from 3 months from now, with whatever the shops are putting in. So it does hurt the artists more than it does the company itself. Like, they're going to get money from other ads. It doesn't matter, but now you're affecting the writers and the artists. Even still, though, Greg Capullo did say that the fact that they did this upset him so much that it made him want to quit at one point.
Really?
Yeah. That's how upset he was about it.
Y'all need to calm down. Eat a Twix. You'll feel better.
But you can tell, too, because at one point on the same ad, or the same page where you have that half-page ad, it says, and I'm going to read from here, it's not a spoiler, but they're looking over the Batsuit, and they say, why don't you just slap an ad on it and call it a day? Because none of this is Batman, Jerry. It's like, I know what they're doing there, and we all know exactly what they're saying. They're like, this, you don't do this to Batman. You don't put an ad and break up the story like that and just slap it on there.
Okay, I get that the ad is big and glaring, but I don't feel it broke up the story for me.
After the 4th issue, I didn't either.
No, but even the first one, I'm like, okay, there's an ad. Like, how does an ad across the bottom of a page break it up more than a full page ad?
Because we hadn't seen that since the 60s, really. It's something, a half page like that.
I mean, okay, so?
It's just different, and it's going to break, if you're used to a certain cycle, a certain rhythm to the comics, a certain layout. Okay, I get it. I'm not that upset by it either. It's not, I'm like, by the 4th issue, I'm like, whatever, it's that stupid Twix ad. But it's not enough to me not buy any of the comics. And I get why people are upset. I get why Greg Capullo is mad. Because as an artist, like, they're screwing with your canvas, you have to work around this ad now, whereas before they really didn't have to.
This, for me, and yes, I understand why people are upset, and I understand why it could break up your flow of your reading, etc. But this is another topic that the internet is going crazy about that nobody will care about in 2 months.
Yeah, very true.
And they will probably continue to put ads like this, and you know what? We'll all get used to it.
They're actually not going to do these anymore. This is the only month in which they're going to do the half-page ads.
Well, then good for Twix, because they got the 1 month.
They got their money.
I'm sure they sold lots of Twix. I'm kind of craving a Twix, I'm not going to lie. They advertised very well.
Next DC comic is Batman Superman, aka Superman Loves Batman, number 21. Written by Greg Pak, art by Ardian Syaf, and colors by Ulysses Areola. So this is the new Superman.
Yes.
As he meets the new Batman.
Yes. The new powerless Superman, who still kind of has powers.
Suddenly knows how to fight,
yeah.
Even though it's Superman, and I don't think he ever trained.
No.
As far as I know. I could be wrong, but as far as the new 52 Superman, I never once saw, and I trained in the Himalayas with these guys like Batman did.
He watched all the videos he had of Batman fighting, and then tried to fight like him. That's all that happened. He's got lots of videos.
Oh, it's working. It is working, but yeah, this was another excellent issue by Greg because he nailed that inner thought of Superman. Batman is gone, and
Yes.
he's just thinking to himself, like, why hasn't Bruce called? Like, that is straight out of the comic.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, why hasn't he called? I know you're
I'll
out
call
there.
him. And then, if only I had my powers, I would hear your heartbeat and find you wherever you are.
We're not exaggerating,
Yeah.
Brocats. That is what the comic says.
Word for word.
He knows Batman. He knows his beloved's heartbeat so well that he would know if he was existing in that Earth.
And then he calls Lois to get advice, and she's like, just talk to me. And he's like, I can't. And where's the first place he goes? To the Batcave.
Superman loves Batman theme song.
I can lift you up. I can show you what you wanna see and take you where you wanna be. You could be my luck. Even if the sky is falling down, I know that we'll be safe and sound. We're safe and sound.
But this book definitely demonstrates all of Superman's love for Batman. And even when he confronts Alfred, and Alfred's like, nah, he's gone. I don't believe you.
He's in denial.
And away he goes.
Meets the new Batman. You're not my Batman. Like, it's already like, oh, I'm like, this is perfect. I love all of this.
Yes. It was a magical little story.
Greg Pak needs to stay on this comic
Forever.
because he gets it.
And I'm sure he does. I want him to be in his thing writing like, okay, what's the gayest thing you could say right now? But they're just friends. But they're just friends. Just like best buds.
DC's overlooking at his shoulder like, right?
And
Not
yeah,
getting- no.
Best buds. Not in love. Not, I should call him. Not in love, guys. BFFs.
He's saying it differently.
Our next book is Detective Comics number 41. This is written by Francis Manapul and Brian Buccellato, with art by Fernando Blanco, and the colorist is Brian Buccellato.
I've been liking Detective Comics, but if it weren't for Spider-Gwen, I think this might have been my pass of the week.
Really?
It talks about how Harvey is the one being convinced now to help Jim be Batman, and that's fine.
After Jim had to convince himself again in this book, after he's already convinced himself.
Right, and I don't feel like they handled Batman quite as well as Scott Snyder did in Batman number 41. And I like all the detective work. I like the cop stuff. It's great. Like if Gotham Central were still going, I'm sure we'd still be reading it. But I don't know. I didn't feel like enough happened in the issue to warrant buying the comic.
I kind of feel like Detective Comics and Batman were kind of the same book. Because kind of the same thing happened in both of them.
Yeah.
We get to see the beginning of this new bunny-eared Batman, Jim Gordon, Ginger Batman. We're going to call him Ginger Batman.
Ginger Batman.
Okay. So we get to see the beginning of Ginger Batman, and we get to see Harvey get pulled into it in both books. And we get to see how the cop force is so happy that Batman's on their side now in both books. Like, it was, for me, it was kind of the same story.
But not as good. Like, this one was not as good as Batman.
Right.
We'll see how it goes with number 42. We knew this new change for Batman would affect some comics, and not all of them would be as graceful in handling, like, oh, we don't have Bruce anymore for now, so...
For now. Superman will find him. He'll get his powers back in here for his heartbeat.
I think he would get his powers back if he just saw Batman again. Like, it would just, a spark inside him would trigger, like, his powers to somehow return. Even without the sun, because the sun to him is Batman.
Yes.
That's what powers him.
Perfect. The darkest thing in the world is his light.
They did say something like that, too, in that comic, didn't they? Like, he was like, I need to be the light, and you're the darkness.
Yeah, something like that. Because he was going to start, like, fighting like Batman. And he's like, no, you're the dark, so I can be the light. I'm like, no, he's just the dark because he's fucking Batman. It has nothing to do with you, Superman.
He's making it into a couple thing.
Yeah.
That's always what he does.
But BFFs.
Okay.
Just besties.
Next comic is Gotham Academy number 7, written by Becky Cloonan and Brendan Fletcher, art by Mingju Helen Chen.
I loved this book so much.
Adore it. Absolutely great.
The art was so cute. Even from the cover, like, I get so many feels.
Yeah, the cover shows Maps, one of the characters from Gotham Academy, hugging Damian Wayne, who doesn't look thrilled with that.
But he's in love with her, I can tell already. They're in love. They're totes happy.
Another jumping on point, a lot of these June titles will be for DC, and we do recommend getting on Gotham Academy. I kind of want Mingju Helen Chen to be the permanent artist on Gotham Academy, because she knocked it out of the park these last 2 issues, I want to say, and this one was the best one so far. Like, everything looks gorgeous, it looks bright, the lighting especially is amazing, and you know, she handled all of that. You could almost take this book and it almost looks like you can animate it right now. It looks like a cartoon already. If you can somehow translate this into like a computer animation, sort of 2D style, flat, whatever, done.
It'd be perfect. But the art fit great with the story. It was kind of a light story, but you had some mystery and some magic mixed in there, and I think it's going to lead to something bigger. That teacher man, I don't like him.
It's basically like a Harry Potter thing.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, that's how they advertised it, Harry Potter and Gotham, and you see that more than ever in this.
But you have this cute, adorable love story, even though I don't think they really see it as a love story. But I think these two are going to be great friends.
Spoilers.
I don't think that really spoils anything, because I'm confused. Could be real, it could not be real. I don't know. We'll have to wait till next month to find out. But definitely a great book, guys. Pick it up. Gotham Academy #7.
Before we move forward onto Harley Quinn, I know you're not big on magic in the DC universe. How'd you feel with that and Gotham Academy with a character like Damian, who the whole time was like, that's not magic, that's this other thing. Like, you know how they...
I just accepted it because I liked the story so much. I'm not big on magic in DC, and I wish that they had found some other way to tell this story, to be honest. But it was such a fun story. I just kind of had to pull myself out of the DC world and kind of put myself in, like, Gotham Academy, Harry Potter world. And then I was okay with it.
Did you know that they recently announced at one of the conferences, it was at a convention, that one of the new professors in Gotham Academy a couple months from now will be Kirk Landstrom?
Really? That's awesome. He's got to be a science professor. Now, I want him to teach, like, Spanish or something.
Either way, he's going to get out of hand, and they're going to have to stop him.
Of course.
And I'm also glad that we didn't see those weirdo kids, like the half man-bat kid or whatever, like the wolf boy, all of that nonsense. Like, I'm glad that took a pause for now. Like, let's just explore more stories like these instead.
More Damian Map stories.
Yeah.
That's all I want. Like, we could just follow them around all day. That's all I need. Like, she really wants to be his friend, and he's like, no, I don't need any friends, I'm a loner. And she's like, no, let's be friends. But then, like, he secretly grows to like her, and then something happens to her, and he, like, goes all ape shit and, like, starts, like, kicking asses to save her. That's what I want to see. Forget, like, Olive or whatever her name is, Silverlock. I don't need none of that. This is all I need, just them two. So now we can move into our final 2 books. The first one is Harley Quinn #17. This is written by Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti, with art by Chad Hardin, and the colorist is Alex Sinclair.
This is our second of the Palmiotti books we have this week. We actually got 3. So, wow. We like to support our local creators.
Yep.
Yet another jumping on point, and this one's for Harley Quinn. It's first part to how this Harley Quinn squad actually operates in the city and what they're doing for the city to try to make it better, while at the same time putting in some of that Harley Quinn humor and actually giving some responsibility to Harley, not just as the leader of the group, but as a part of a relationship that is blooming from the story. And it got a little bit serious there for a moment, and I thought that was really interesting for a book like Harley Quinn, what we've seen so far. And the cover itself is actually like a parody and an homage to We Are Robin, the other comic book that's coming out later this month, and that hasn't even released yet. So I was telling Rick at the shop that this is technically sort of the first appearance of those characters, because you see at the bottom right-hand corner, one of the Harleys has the actual We Are Robin comic book that she's holding.
That's really cool.
I just thought that was a funny thing.
Yeah. I'm mixed about this book because I do kind of like all the Harley Squad stuff. I think the characters are enjoyable, and it's a lot of fun to see what's gonna happen, and the Popeye guy was really cool.
Yeah, he was funny.
And so I enjoy seeing them, but I read this book for Harley. So I feel like every time we see them, we do pull away from Harley. So I understand their direction, and I think that this adds a lot of fun to the book, but I would rather see more Harley.
Our final book of the week, and the other Palmiotti book, is Starfire #1, which is actually written by Amanda Conner as well, art by Emanuela Lupacchino, and colors by Hi-Fi.
Yeah, finally a good colorist. Good job, Hi-Fi.
High five for Hi-Fi.
Yeah. Does he drink some High C? Is High C still around?
Yeah, 10% juice still. That might even be less. 8% juice.
I was looking at something. Oh, we have frozen slushes at work, and it says 0% juice on it. And I'm like, good job, frozen slush.
At least there's water in there.
It's Fanta, so I mean.
So what do you think about the debut of a brand new #1?
I loved it. I had so much fun growing up in Florida all my life. When all the weather stuff was going down, I'm like, yeah, this stuff happens all the time. Like, you guys will be fine. Just board up your windows. No biggie. But
I was going to say, the art by Emanuela, it's a lot lighter than the Harley Quinn one by Chad Hardin. And when we had the annual, I believe, or one of the other one-shots, I kind of wish that we had one of those artists on Harley Quinn because it fits the tone of that comic more. And in this case, it's like the perfect pairing with writing and artists because it's funny, it's adorable, and on top of that, Starfire is like this character that doesn't get sarcasm, and she sort of doesn't understand human culture and customs.
I thought they handled that so well, too, of her not understanding sarcasm, because they'll say something like, I'll give you 3 big ones, talking about money, and then you'll see like a little bubble where she's imagining elephants.
Yes.
And she's like, how? She doesn't understand. So I thought they handled that really well. So rather than having her explain it to us, we're actually seeing her thought process.
And with the creative team that it is, you are going to get, if you know any of their books, especially Harley Quinn, you are going to get, the subtle nudity here, or the sex jokes over here. Like, it's just a part of their humor with Amanda and Jimmy. And I think I've told readers at the comic shop, this is the way I'm upselling this. Do you like Harley Quinn? You're going to like Starfire. Like, that is really everything. That's all you need. And they are very similar, but I feel like the main difference is Harley Quinn is, about being a little bit ferocious at times when she needs to be, and then being really friendly, whereas Starfire, it's more like she's learning and she's growing, and people around her are actually legitimately trying to help her, but she's also like this superpowered thing that if you piss her off, she will actually, destroy your table or whatever.
And I absolutely love her costume design, too. I wish I knew how to sew well enough. I would make it myself. I absolutely love it. And I love the fact that they explain it by saying, well, yeah, Florida's pretty hot.
So before we close out the show, 2 weeks into the DC #1s and the more inclusive shows, comics, how do you feel like they're faring so far with what they're releasing?
I think they've been pretty solid. I loved Starfire. I think Bizarro was my pick of the week last week. So they're adding a lot of really fun books that I think both kids and adults can jump on. I don't know if you really want your kid jumping on Starfire.
But maybe the kid wants to. But.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay. So, I think they're doing pretty well. I think it will draw more people in, which is good. You still have your really dark Batmans that are going to keep people around, but then you have these lighter books as well.
Yeah, it's like I said, I think last week, it's people are asking for lighter books from DC, like, why is it always so dark? Well, here you go. Half of these books are now going to be like this, and they're fun, and they're fine, and people like us that were reading before and have stayed on through all the, quote, dark books, like, we're still like, yeah, these are still good stories. Like, as long as the story's great, that's really all you need to worry about. And they're giving these other characters a chance that normally you wouldn't see otherwise. It's not just, as people were saying, oh, great, another Batman book. And to me, I'm like, yeah, that fucking sells. Batman books,
yeah,
of course.
Another Batman book, great.
But in this case, like, no, here's a Starfire, here's a Bizarro, here's a Batmite. Like, you're getting brand new stuff. And I feel like people should be giving that stuff a shot because they're actually good as well. It's not just a new book and then it sucks. No, these are funny and they're great. And maybe they're giving them a little bit more leeway creatively. I'm not sure what's going on behind the scenes, but it's good stuff so far.
So that will actually do it for our podcast this week. Thank you guys so much for listening. Just to reiterate, my pick of the week is Saga #29.
And my pick of the week is Batman #41.
And I do have some honorable mentions. Can I have 3?
You can have 3 honorable mentions.
Okay, 3 honorable mentions. Starfire #1, Silver Surfer #12, and Anne Bonny #4.
There you go. And my pass of the week was Spider-Gwen #5.
And my pass of the week was Ultimate End #2 of 5, because who cares?
So huge thanks once again to Tim Yates with his Easter egg in Anne Bonny.
I was so excited.
Absolutely great. Also, thanks to Brokettes out there who have already entered the contest for the prizes that we are doing through Week Contest. Reminder, leave us a written review on iTunes and or on Stitcher.
A nice written review.
And we'll enter you in to win decals along with other things, which we may announce next week. Mm-hmm. Just know that it's not just the decals anymore. There's extra stuff coming.
Yeah. Mystery prizes.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Reasons I'm Broke. Also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/TheReasonsI'mBroke. I'll usually post pictures up there for covers like today when we talked about the Green Lantern variants. I will be posting those up in about a week or so. I'm still posting up some bombshells as well, so Brokettes can take a look at those too.
Mm-hmm. And in addition to audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia, another way you can help us out is by heading over to nerdupmedia.com/shop and picking up a t-shirt.
For a donation of $16.99, you get a t-shirt of your choice with colors varying from black, gray, blue, red, and pink.
Our t-shirts come in a variety of different sizes for men and women, so you can pick the one that'll fit you best.
And while you're at nerdupmedia.com, check out the rest of our shows on the network, including other podcasts like Those Two Jerks, Let's Plays like The Lazy Gaming Guys, and comic book reviews like The Read Pile.
And guys, that will do it for our podcast this week. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Kelli.
And I'm Daniel.
We'll see you next week.